Je m'appelle Kiara Felder, je suis demi-soloiste avec Les Grands Ballets et c'est ma 7e saison avec la compagnie. I first started ballet. My oldest sister, Carmen, she was taking ballet since I could remember. So my mom put me and my 2 sisters into ballet class in North Carolina. And at first I didn't really like it and I thought it was boring, so I quit. But then when I saw my sisters in the end of year recital, I got really jealous and I told my mom I didn't want to be in the audience anymore. And so I started again the next year and I haven't stopped since.
Je m'appelle Tatiana Lerebours, je fais partie du corps de ballet des Grands Ballets et c'est ma 5e saison avec la compagnie. Donc j'ai commencé le ballet, j'avais 2 ans. Apparemment, parce que moi je me souviens pas, c'est ma mère qui m'a dit que c'est moi qui étais allée la voir puis qui lui a demandé de faire du ballet. Et elle, quand elle était plus jeune, elle a fait du ballet aussi, donc ça lui a fait plaisir, je pense, quand je lui ai dit que je voulais commencer. Puis elle m'a inscrite à l'Académie de ballet classique. Puis j'ai commencé, c'était 1 fois par semaine pour le plaisir. Puis après ça, je suis rentrée au programme professionnel de l'école supérieure à 8 ans. Puis j'ai gradué à 19 ans. Puis je suis rentrée au Grand Ballet.
Je m'appelle Bernard Dubois II. Je suis corps de ballet au Grand Ballet. C'est ma 3e année. So I didn't start willingly. I was in like hip hop and I think tap. And I saw that my sister missed school when she did competitions. She was dancing too. She was into all kinds of other dance. And when she did competition, she was able to miss school, and I was like, I need to be able to do that. So the studio that we went to, you needed to do ballet to be able to compete, to have like an extra little layer of like technique. So I started doing ballet to be able to compete, to not go to school in elementary school. So that's what brought me into ballet, and then my parents kind of kept me in it for a while, you know, keep me out of trouble, keep me occupied, keep my energy, you know, spending energy. It wasn't until later that I was really like into it. It took me a while to fall in love with it, but in love I did fall.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Vanesa G.R. et je suis première danseuse au Grand Ballet canadien. Et ça, c'est ma 18e saison avec la compagnie. The way how I started ballet was a bit funny because the only reason why I wanted to enroll in dance classes is because I was watching some TV show on TV one day, and they were playing, I think it was probably Conseils ballet. And I just fell in love with the costumes and seeing these beautiful women being carried up in the air. And right away, I told my mom, this is what I want to do. I just want to be a princess. I want to wear these costumes. I want to have a prince just carry me up and down all day. So she took me to take ballet classes at my school. And very quickly I realized that it was not all about just being cute and pretty. When we start having all these exercises at the bar and the stretches, I really hate the stretches because I was not flexible at all. And I was like, oh no, I don't know, I don't think this is right. Like I started dancing, but very quickly I kind of got discouraged because it was kind of harder than I thought.
I've always looked up to Deborah Austin. She is a ballet mistress now with Carolina Ballet, but she danced with New York City Ballet and Pennsylvania Ballet. And she was probably the first Black ballerina that I really knew and who I had worked with personally. And then also to sort of, you know, watch her videos and see her dancing. It was really inspirational. She danced a lot of works that I wanted to dance, and so it was really like a blueprint for me to see that, and it was really an inspiring thing to have her sort of be a mentor of mine, even as a student. And also my oldest sister has always been my like inspiration and hero in terms of ballet. Like I could always see her really going for things, and she always had a beautiful performance quality, and was a professional dancer also. So I think it just made sense to me to see her doing it and want to also do it.
Well, I received all my training in Spain at the Royal Conservatory in Madrid, and I must say, like, for me, one of my biggest inspirations was Nacho Duato, who used to direct Compañía Nacional de Danza at the time I was living in Spain. And I was just so fascinated by his movement, but also his choreographies, every ballet. I was just so in love with like his super specific way of understanding the music and movement, the fluidity, and I was just in love. And I was lucky enough that at the conservatory, the teachers that were in charge of kind of repertory classes and atelier choreographic, I guess, during weekends, most of the staff, they were all older dancers from the Compañía Nacional de Danza. So I was able to, since very early age, to work on this style, and has been kind of like following me through my career.
Je tiens à dire que moi, personnellement, quand j'ai grandi, je regardais pas nécessairement à des modèles noirs, précisément parce que pour moi, peu importe de quoi tu avais l'air, que tu sois noir, blanc, asiatique, pour moi, ça n'avait pas d'importance. Moi, je regardais à la façon de danser, qu'est-ce qui m'inspirait quand je regardais une personne danser, pas nécessairement de quoi qu'elle avait l'air. Mais si je vais dans des modèles plus noirs, je sais que dès que j'ai commencé à faire casse-noisette avec les Grands Ballets, il y avait Vanesa que je regardais beaucoup, qui m'inspirait aussi beaucoup. Puis je trouve que c'est vraiment beau parce qu'aujourd'hui, je travaille avec elle, donc moi, je trouve que c'est vraiment... elle m'inspire encore plus parce que là, je travaille, j'ai une proximité avec elle que j'avais pas nécessairement quand j'étais plus jeune.
I mean, I don't really want to say I don't have any icons or inspirations, but I'm trying to be an inspiration for young Black people, young Black dancers who want to take this path. I want to show them it's possible and you can go far.
Personally, I really enjoy contemporary dance because I think that's who I am as a dancer. I like freedom, I like physicality, I like to use all the possibilities available. I like to experiment and get to know my body more, the more like I search for different ways of moving. And also as a choreographer, I find in contemporary dance I have a lot more range to explore, but I really have a lot of appreciation and respect for classical dance and classical training, because it only makes my contemporary dance stronger and I guess like deeper, and it makes it more complete, because I like the discipline of and the hard work that goes behind classical dance. Is so strict and always strives for perfection, which is pretty much impossible to obtain. But there's also something really rewarding when you're like working hard on something extremely hard technically, and once you conquer this goal, it feels, I don't know, it's like a source of pride and kind of like content, satisfaction, until you choose another goal to achieve. Then the hard work is continues going on.
I think my first exposure to ballet was a mix of classical and neoclassical ballet. We had a Balanchine video, VHS, that was a celebration of Balanchine ballets, and we would watch it every day practically, and I think that neoclassical ballet really resonated with me for the athleticism, and it was sort of jazzy and really fun, and I think that really like sparked my interest and was what I wanted to do with ballet, maybe more than the classical works, but I also found something really nice to explore classical pieces.
Just being able to get on stage and find that escape and maybe even take a few people from the audience and bring them with me in this escape. It was that I really enjoyed. Now it's more about the rehearsal process in the studio where you can see yourself and yes, it takes energy and it's tiring to do it all over and over and over again, but that's when you can like tweak stuff and challenge yourself and, you know, change things for the better. Sometimes it's for the worse, but there are people sitting at the front of the room that will tell you yes or no, yay or nay, you know what I mean? And so yeah, that's really what excites me the most, is the experimentation in the studio. Also, you know, I love to get down to some music.
Moi, personnellement, je suis une personne qui c'est rendu sur la scène que je vais vraiment montrer qui je suis, aller à fond, surtout au niveau artistique, je vais vraiment me donner. Puis c'est la sensation que ça me procure, c'est ce qui fait que à la fin du spectacle, je me sens comblée, puis je sens que j'ai bien fait mon travail. Sinon aussi, il y a le processus qui est toujours intéressant, je trouve. Surtout si on travaille sur des ballets qui sont plus difficiles ou que je fais des rôles qui sont que, tu sais, à la base, j'aurais jamais pensé faire personnellement. Donc, tout le processus, c'est de découvrir un autre aspect de moi en tant que danseuse aussi. J'aime beaucoup ça.
Even if you don't see us, there are people who look just like you out there doing exactly what you're doing. So occupy the space, work hard, be dedicated, be patient, because not everybody's gonna like you. And one day, hopefully, you'll be able to find a space where they accept you, or you're around people that look just like you or look, you know, similar to you. And you know, hard work will take you a long way. Everybody is unique, and the color of your skin just adds to that uniqueness. So stand proud.
My advice for young Black dancers is to remember, especially if you feel like you're in a space that you don't see a lot of people like you, remember that it's really special to be unique and that you have something to offer always. And to just own your power and take up space and do your best.
Je dirais, vas-y, fonce. Si tu es déterminé puis que tu as des buts précis que tu veux atteindre, vas-y. Ne regarde pas ta couleur de peau comme étant un obstacle. Je trouve que jamais ta couleur de peau devrait t'empêcher de faire ce que tu veux dans la vie. Puis si c'est la danse que tu veux faire, vas-y. Puis, ouais, c'est ça.
Well, I think my advice to other Black dancers, young dancers, will be to don't be afraid to dream big. Not because you don't see maybe today as much representation of Black people in our job as you would like to compared to other ethnicities maybe. That doesn't mean that there's no a place for you to grow, to shine, to thrive. And as a matter of fact, I think the lack of representation should be probably your inspiration to try to open more doors, to build a bit more of a community of Black dancers within the dance community. And yeah, like as I said earlier, always hard work and passion will bring you far. Like it might be harder, it will take longer, it will take shorter, we don't know, but if you really want to do something, don't let anyone limit you. You are the one that can limit your own self. Like if you want to get somewhere, if you put all you got into it, I'm pretty sure you can get there eventually. So you have to believe in that and just try to enjoy as much as possible and dream big. The bigger, the better. I would like to add that I am extremely happy that at this time at Les Grands Ballets Canadiens there's a larger representation of Black dancers, and I'm really happy to see the young generations of Black dancers coming really strong and really inspiring, and all I want for them is to have all the success in the world and to keep thriving and to keep encouraging other younger generations just to keep coming stronger and in larger numbers, and just to see them like flourish and just shine.